Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this has been bothering me for a while. There have been a lot of people who have been asking about super OP setups right now. It seems like they can't really piece together how to become really OP with their specific weapon setups. Now, I'm not going to claim to be a master or anything of Terraria, but I've been messing around with a lot of different things, a lot of different items, and I've gotten a hold of some really great gear. So, I figured it was about time that somebody stepped up and at least tried to explain how to make something ridiculously OP, how to make yourself unbelievably damaging when it comes to Terraria. And I'm going to do it with each of the individual classes. So if you like melee, ranged, or magic, I'm going to show you what you need to equip in order to become ridiculously OP. Now, it's quite simple really. The most damaging of each items concerning DPS, damage over time, if you're a ranged character, then it's really tied between the Godly Sniper Rifle and the Unreal Mega Shark. Now the Unreal Mega Shark obviously has big advantages. 50% chance not to consume ammo means you'll be able to put out a ton of bullets at once. Couple that with something like armor that has an additional chance not to consume ammo. You have right here a 20% with a 50%, so that's 70% chance not to consume ammo. Now with a base damage of 64 with all the gear that I currently have equipped, and a 52% critical strike chance, the Unreal Mega Shark is a true force to be reckoned with. That was a rainbow gun. But it's a true force to be reckoned with. Unbelievable power. Now the problem with my current setup is that as you fire, you will become more visible and therefore you will lose damage. But you regain your invisibility so quickly, it's not really a problem when you're using the Unreal Mega Shark. So with the Shroomite equipment, as you stand still, you go into stealth mode. The longer you're in stealth mode, it increases your ranged ability, which is basically it increases your crit chance and your damage output. So for instance, you look at my Godly Sniper Rifle, 356 base damage, that's retarded, with a 67% crit chance. 2 out of 3 shots are going to crit. That's a lot of damage right there. Now if you look real quick, we'll go ahead and fire off a shot. Now you see that my damage goes down a little bit. The more you fire, the more visible you're going to become, so the more your damage is going to fall. But it really quickly jumps back up. Now if we take off the Shroomite mask real quick, you'll see that it drops. Now that isn't just from the actual 15% bullet damage increase. It's also because as you turn invisible, your equipment goes up. Look at that. It jumps up really, really quickly. So, the Shroomite gear is indispensable when it comes to range DPS. You have to have it. Now, as for my other gear, the Avenger emblem is created by combining all 3 of the class emblems. So you've got the Sorcerer, the Melee, and the Ranger. Those 3 emblems together create an Angry Avenger emblem. Now, you can go a step further, and if you have the Avenger emblem and you get the Golem Eye, you can create the Destroyer emblem, which gives you increased damage and crit chance. So you've got this increasing your damage, this increasing damage and crit, and then you can have the original emblem, which increases your damage even further. Now, if you add the stat buffs by reforging them until you get menacing or at least angry, you can see this one's angry, 3%. Menacing is 4%. And you can put menacing on anything. I've still got the magic cuffs on because I haven't quite decided what else I should wear, but I really lean towards the idea of wearing a star veil, or at the very least a cross necklace. That's what I think I would do. But you can see here I've got 4%, 4%, 4%, 3%. That's 15% just with the additional reforging. This is 15% on top of that. That's 30%. Another 10%. That's 40. Another 12%, 52% increased damage. This increases your crit chance by 8%. Now you have this, which increases my bullet damage by 15%, range critical strike by 13%, and range critical strike by another 7%, as well as having decent defensive buffs, you know, for ranged armor. It's pretty damn good. Turning invisible increases everything. So your damage output with this thing is unbelievable. You can see how far it drops when you're moving. Yeah. So standing still as long as possible and getting off those shots, look at that. Adds almost 100 damage. And what is that? Almost 10%? It adds 10% crit chance. So ridiculously overpowered right there. That is the equipment setup that you really want to utilize if you want to be a ranger. Now, when it comes to being, and of course, if you have the sniper rifle equipped, then you have the rifle scope effect. It's just on there anyway. That's why I don't actually have the rifle scope. You right-click to zoom out, and then you can just aim where you want and then shoot someone in the brain pan. You do ridiculous amounts of damage. How much damage, you may ask? Let me show you how much damage. Now, optimally, I'd like to get a good hard mode enemy to shoot in the face to show you exactly how powerful it can be with crits. So if we try to stand here for a... Well, no, they're moving too fast. Try to stand here for a little... Well, let's just go ahead. Look at that crit. Over 600 with crits. A non-hard mode enemy, might as well just kiss his ass goodbye. Unbelievable power. You see that? Ridiculous. Now everything's hiding from me because it realizes that if it comes out, it's just going to get murdered immediately. There's no point in even showing yourself. I can hear things. Can't see them. Oh, here comes a fairy. Here it comes. And there it goes. That wasn't even a crit. One hit kill. Boom. One hit kill. Not a crit. Over here, a zombie. He's going to try to mess with me? No, he's not. So as you can see, ridiculously powerful. Don't even get me started on adding the Mega Shark to the mix. I mean, you start throwing that thing around, the DPS that the Mega Shark offers is retarded. It's just stupid. With this gear setup, look here. You go ahead and go invisible. Stand here. Let's let this light mummy. 200 HP. No. We can almost kill him with one shot from the Mega Shark. You're standing there invisible. Boom. You're just taking people to school. I can't even see things off the screen. They're too far away to even see. Doesn't matter. They're dead. Irrelevant. Now, of course, you can increase the damage even more if you have the proper bullets. Right now, I'm just using nanite bullets. Why? I really like the confusion effects, because with normal enemies, if you're fighting like normal enemies, then you have a chance to confuse them, which means they're no longer going to focus on you. And when you have the shroomite equipment, that's really valuable because they're going to turn around and not attack you. And it works on most of the mini-boss type enemies as well. So like the paladin, he can very easily become confused. You can tear a paladin a new one with this. I mean, you just go to town on a paladin. It's not even fair, to be perfectly honest. But I mean, it's not fair to fight anything with this. I mean, look at that. He tried to poke his head out to shoot me. Yeah, that wasn't going to work. What are you doing, fool? I can snipe from far away, too. Oh, look at him. Hey, hey. Nobody wants any. We don't want any. Now, you're going to have a little bit of problems staying alive with this, which is why it's a good idea to have another, like the Godly Vampire Knives, because then you can just throw those, and you get so many damage buffs with all your other stuff that you're going to be able to recover your life and deal significant amounts of damage. Unfortunately, this isn't counted as a ranged weapon, which doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. I mean, honestly, this shouldn't be a melee weapon. It is, but it shouldn't be. I mean, everything about this screams ranged, but you know, there's nothing I can do. There's nothing I can do about that. It's counted as a melee weapon. So it's melee damage. However, that brings us to our next stats, or our next group of stats, and our next class, melee class. So let's see what we can do with that, shall we? Now, if we actually look at some of the melee gear, the Frost Helmet and the Frost Breastplate are pretty good. So if you go ahead and pop those on, you can see the damage is about 56. Now, if you try the Chlorophyte instead, you'll lose a little bit of defense, but you'll gain a bit more damage, and I believe you gain a bit more crit. Yeah, you gain more crit overall as well. Significantly more crit. Now the turtle mail, if you want the increased defense because it has just incomparable defense, it's higher than anything else in the game. You'll lose some damage, you'll lose some crit compared to the chlorophyte, but I mean, really, it's all based on what you want, what you prefer. Now we're gonna have to go ahead and we're gonna replace the Ranger emblem, obviously, with the Warrior's emblem. Pop that up, get an additional 15%, and the Hasty Fire Gauntlet. Now this is something that you create by using a Titan's Glove and combining the Titan's Glove, I believe, with Feral Claws. And then you combine the the glove that comes out of that with I can't remember what it is, and then whatever gauntlet it is, you combine that with a magma stone, and that'll create the fire gauntlet. So this, you can actually add another damaging component by having the previous gauntlet. You can have that equipped as well, but this will give you fire effect. So go ahead and pop that on to increase your melee damage even more. And really quickly, I'm going to show you the other gauntlet. I've got to make it real fast. Should have done that before this video, but hey, I'm a professional and this is how we do things. Alright, take my word for it. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. So, I got the recipe from the guide. You take a Titan's Glove and Feral Claws to make a Power Glove. Then you take a Power Glove and an Avenger emblem, so you need another Avenger emblem, to create the Mechanical Glove. Now, you can actually use a Power Glove as well, but you can replace your wings if you want to. And this will increase, this doesn't increase damage, but it increases melee knockback and, well, it does increase damage. Damage and melee speed on top of knockback, and you can increase that by an additional 4% if you reforge it. But I just created it, and I didn't want to reforge it, so I didn't want to waste even more time. Now you can see, if you've got vampire knives, you don't have to worry about anything, period. Now, the Godly Paladin's Hammer, 38% crit chance, 191 damage, ridiculous. Now all this stuff you can level up even further if you have the time and money. I do have the money. I don't want to spend all the time, but platinum farms are incredibly easy to make. They take absolutely nothing as long as you have stats. You don't even really need statues. There are plenty of ways to make platinum farms that just sit there and grab money for you. It's not hard, believe me. So that's how I got all my money anyway, just farming it. Just look for a platinum guide farm, or a platinum farm guide on YouTube. Just type it in, you'll get one. But 68 melee damage, very fast speed, and strong knockback. Now this starts with weak knockback, but with everything else, now you've got strong knockback. It becomes impossible for people to mess with you. And let me show you now. When you have setups like this, if you want to be able to get from point A to point B, you're going to have to bring your items that actually grant you mobility. You're going to have to bring those with you because they're not really going to set well. You're not going to be able to move around very well. If you're fully decked out in power gear, it's not going to be easy for you to move around. So you can see I've got all the chests and stuff here. I've stored some of my things in here, like the lightning boots. You've got the lightning boots right there. You've got the bundle of balloons. I really like those. And so you go ahead and grab some of that stuff, and then you can head out. And we'll head out real quick, and I'll show you exactly how damaging this kind of stuff can be. So have you guys been dreaming about making Plantera your bitch, but you just haven't been able to figure out how? Well, wonder no more, my friends, because this is it. This is how you do it. You want to destroy him? I'll show you how to destroy him. Now make sure you've equipped your gear if you've switched out, because I did this video just a few seconds ago, and I destroyed Plantera without even switching over my maximum damage gear. That's just how OP these setups are right now. That's how OP these items are right now. Expect some nerfs or expect some incredibly powerful bosses to make their way into the game later on, because right now, fighting these people it's basically a joke. So let's go ahead and get Plantera to show his worthless hide real fast. And oh, here he comes. So we've got the knives, as you can see. Now look at those stacks of hundreds. Look at those orange crits, just piling up. See Plantera's health. It's been a few seconds. We're already down to 30,000. Is my life in danger? Maybe even slightly in danger. No. Plantera's pissed off now. What's he gonna do about it? He's gonna hover around here. He's gonna try to hurt me. Is it working? I don't know. You tell me. Nope. I got a leaf blower. I don't know what that is, but I got one. You want to farm Plantera like a boss? That's how you do it. Look at that. I didn't even put, once again, I forgot another item. I didn't even put my brisk mechanical glove on, which would have gave me 10% more damage. That means I would have been dishing out 10 more damage per crit that you guys saw before. That, my friends, is a shit ton of damage. But, speaking of shit tons of damage, why don't we see how our mage fares with our damage setup? Shall we? Yeah. Let's shall. Now, when it comes to the mage, the obvious armor is straight up Spectre. Nothing comes close. With the Spectre armor, you have a set bonus. Magic damage done to enemies heals the player with lowest health. If you're soloing, the player with lowest health will always be you. So you don't have to worry about things. Now, you look at this. This increases melee damage and speed. So you can go ahead and pop this off right now. Just go ahead and set this up over here next to the melee stuff. I'm going to go ahead and put my equipment back together a little bit. I was looking at other sorts of gear to see, which one would... Oh, wait. I'm sorry. Which one would truly be the best? And, well, you know what I ended up choosing. So, Chlorophyte was the best to me, and then Shroomish for range, and then of course Spectre for this. Now the social slots, I just like the Tiki. I like the Tiki set. It's just a fun little set. So you go ahead. You got your leaf wings right now. You got your warrior emblem. You're gonna have to go ahead and pop that off and replace it with the sorcerer's emblem. Now this is just damage. This is just damage. So you don't have to worry about those whatsoever. Now this is also just damage. It increases your melee speed knockback, but it also increases raw damage as well. So if you look at spells up here, 115 magical damage, you pop this bad boy on there, and all of a sudden it is 122 magical damage with 36 crit strike. Now, there are other items that you can pop into place, but the arcane magic cuffs take the cake. Why, you ask? Because every time you are damaged by an enemy, you regain absurd amounts of mana. How absurd, you may ask? Well, let's just jump over here and take some damage. Bam! 90 mana right there. I have 320 mana. That is almost 1/3 of my mana regenerated. It's over 1/4 of my mana regenerated in a second. Now, you may think that taking 70 damage is quite a bit. No. Now, let me tell you something. 10% of damage done returns to you as health against enemies. Now, little neutrals like that, they're not going to give you anything. But if you're fighting an actual enemy, like someone who can put up a fight, not a weak little walking goldfish that you're picking on like I just did, bam, you're going to get 11 and 18 back. When you have absurd attack power, attack speed that some of these magical items possess, 10% might as well be 100%. You're going to fill up your health bar at such critical speeds, nothing in the game can touch you. Now, by far, the magic and melee classes have the biggest advantage. Why? Because the magic class can have things like Magnet Sphere. You just bust that thing out there and it shoots out an ungodly amount of magical power. It just rapid fires. And it's standalone, so you just go ahead, pop. Look at that, 160, 170, piece of cake. You want to drop something else because you've got an open area to fight monsters? Let's drop a Hydra. Bam. Dropping Hydras. Now if that guy stops being confused, look at that. He's just going to sit there and take care of business for you. No problems. Shoot out your little Magnet Sphere. Top that off with either the Shadow Beam because it's piercing and incredibly effective, or Demonic Spectre Staff because it zooms in on enemies. So it'll actually curve. And I mean, when I say it homes on enemies, it homes in on them. I mean, you see that? They had to be right up on me before I started missing. But if you fire like even slightly far away, look at that. Did you see it chase him down? Fairy didn't have a chance. There's nothing you can do. You just blind fire this ahead of you. It takes all of, what, 7 mana? Yeah, watch out. 7 mana. And remember, you take damage in any way, shape, or form, boom. 7 mana, you can shoot off 10 of these and get all your mana back. And because you're dealing so much damage, every shot is healing you for 11, 12 HP. No problem. There is absolutely no problem. Look at that, 232, that's 23 HP. 23 HP right there. And your crit strike is so high, 34% right there. Well, there's no crit strike on that. Not really. What is this? 34 right there. 34 right there per shot. Now, that doesn't sound like much until you realize exactly how fast that thing just blasts through stuff. If we could have a whole group of enemies right here to show it off, I mean, this thing just shoots it shoots this fast. It shoots that fast. Ridiculous. Like, watch it. I'm going to shoot a unicorn. Hey, unicorn. Pat, 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 pat. Look at that. You see that? Just keeps going. Just desecrating all that stand before it. And then you can just stand back, let that thing go to work, and then just keep shooting at the same time. Dropping your Hydra. Dropping your Sphere. And dropping some Shadow Beams. You are impossible to kill. You are literally impossible to kill. There's just nothing. No one can do anything to you. That's it. End game, my friends. Game, set, and match. And then you've got other things like this. You got the leaf blower, which shoots razor leaves. You want to pop that in there just for kicks? Sure, go ahead. Just shoot yourself some razor leaves. Doesn't matter. This thing doesn't even use mana. Thing doesn't even use mana. You just shoot leaves forever. Just pop them on out there. You want to use what else do we get? You want to use this for melee damage? Yeah, don't do that. That's just silly. But as for the other things, and you want to summon a pygmy too? Bam, summon a pygmy. Not a big deal. It's a summon. 36 per hit. And if you have several of them, I mean, you can just shoot those things out there. You're gaining health like a boss. You got a pygmy fighting for you. You can have a Hydra fighting for you. You can shoot the magnet sphere, and then you can just go ahead and layer on. It's ridiculous. Damage output, godly. It's over. Game over. Game, set, match. So no matter what you want to do, no matter what playstyle you want, there is a way to make it ridiculously OP. You want to aim for world record times in killing things? All you need is the right setup. This gear can do it for you. Then make sure you take a couple of extra potions. Potions of magic power that increase it by another 20%. Ale, which increases your damage output with melee abilities. Drink some soup, which increases all of your base stats. Take a werewolf charm with you and attack somebody at night, or use a moonstone or the sunstone and increase your stats during the day or during the night. There's all sorts of things that you can do to make yourself ridiculously powerful. And that's not even getting into the Halloween update. Who knows what's going to be showing up there. But as for what we have right now, Terraria 0.1, 0.2, 0.0, 0.2, this is how you become OP. You are, in and of yourself, the ultimate boss creature. Undeniable, undefeatable. In Terraria, your word is law. Anyone who goes up against you, well, they're not really gonna survive long enough to say anything else. So, that's it for this easy setup. Now, this video was a little bit longer than I wanted to, but I wanted to make sure it was really in-depth. I didn't want to just throw out a video where I'm just sitting there killing shit and being like, oh, look at me, I'm super powerful. No, I want to explain to you how to become uber. Okay, now I'm sure there's a couple of things that I forgot. This is research that I have done by myself. I haven't been looking at guides. I like figuring these things out in games alone. So if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, you can visit my channel and watch some other videos. I play other games and things too. Got some other stuff in the works, but if you don't, that's perfectly okay. I just want to impart some of the knowledge that I've discovered to you. I've seen a lot of videos where people have been talking about the vampire knife, or posts in the forums where people have been saying, oh, the vampire knives are OP, the Spectre set is OP, these items are ridiculously powerful. But no one's really shown you why they're super powerful. Now, anyone who's watched Heroes videos can see it if you take the time to look at his set. But I wanted to take it just a step further and explain exactly what needed to be done. As you can see down here, I've got plenty of trophies. Golem trophy, Plantera trophy, the Retinazer trophy, and the Skeletron trophy. These are just the trophies that I've gotten from killing the bosses multiple times. I would like to get some of the other trophies, the Skeletron Prime, maybe the Destroyer trophy, replace the original Skeletron trophy with that, and then pop in Prime somewhere down there. Have a nice wall of shame for the boss monsters to look upon if they ever visit my home. But that's it for now. That's about all I've got. So if you guys like this video, if you're interested in seeing anything else, my channel's open. You know, watch it. You don't have to subscribe or anything. Browse through, see what you like. It's whatever. You don't have to if you don't want to, but it's there if you like this kind of stuff. But for everyone else who just wanted to find out how to really become Uber and they haven't been able to find comprehensive guides or videos to watch, hopefully this helped you out. If so, I'm glad. I'm glad I was able to be of assistance. So until next time, guys, this is Sage, and as always, peace.